Welcome, Pavan, and we are glad that you are one of our esteemed speakers at this year's Global Testing Retreat, the fifth edition of the conference. We welcome you, Pavan. Pavan, can I request you to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, thank you. So first of all, I would like to thank you for giving this opportunity for this ATR. So yeah, it's like a great platform to show your talent, show your knowledge. So yeah, before that, I'd like to share what exactly who I am. So yeah, hello everyone. Myself is Pavan, and currently I'm more than 7+ of year of testing industry experience I have right now. And right now I'm working in the Danaher company, which is like equivalent to the Hawk, which is deal with the water platform. And prior to that I was working with the Allscripts, and that is purely based on the healthcare. So in terms of that domain, I have learned a lot in terms of the testing. So started from the UI, then API, then unit testing, and then all through together I'm right now working on the microservices apps. So which is basically tells you like how exactly you're keen to learn about the testing thing. So yeah, we'll be discussing more on that uh, in upcoming channel or upcoming video, like how exactly we can break through the MS apps and break through the MSF technology, and then we can learn the testing. So yeah, overall, like I'm keen to learn the technology. I'm keen to admire some of the new industry trends, and then based on that suitable things, I'll be learning and I'll be implementing the same for our project and for our learning process. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Pavan. You come with a lot of industry experience, and that sounds amazing. So, Pavan, going forward, your topic at this year's conference is testing for microservice app using Azure Service Fabric Cluster, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
can you highlight something more about the topic and what would be the key takeaways for the audience in general who are attending the conference?
Yeah, sure. So basically, when we tell the microservices app, right? So before talking to that, what I'll discuss here, like what is our general approach of deployment? When we ask about the production testing or the stage testing, what we follow it here. Process here is like there will be some downtime for our customers, right? And people, generally customers, they don't like it. Maybe even for a 1 hour and half an hour downtime they don't like it. And it's all happening because still some of the organizations, some of the process we are following called as a monolithic, right? In which like all the process will be having in a single process, we call that. We can't generally scale it in the sense like if we see the lot of demands on our server, and if we can't scale it, we'll be having the problem saying like the server is down. So all those things can be like overridden in terms of the microservices. And the microservices is nothing like you can tell like it's a small chunk, right? Micro is nothing but the small amount, small things. So you, what you can do, that you can group all your services, all your things in a single small teeny, or you can say, yeah, small services, and then you can deploy it. What will happen in that? So when you are deploying on the small things, it will directly go to the production or the stage, what are the medium you're deploying it, right? In that case, since it's a small services, the downtime will be like negligible, or you can say like no downtime, right? So in that case, what will happen? Your customer will never face the application issues. There will be no downtime at all for the customers, and they can run whatever they have running from the beginning. So that's the main feature the microservices bringing in the our in our industry. Now, coming back to the testing for the microservices, what we can do it, like since I'm telling like it's a small services, right? So for testing the small service is also a challenge, right? Because it will not be having like direct communication with the other services. What you can do it, you can create one API, small API. You can hit whatever the unit tested, API tested, backend testing, which you are doing in your day-to-day life, right? That you can hit actually using the uh, microservices, and that will be provided with the help of the service fabric cluster. So the service fabric cluster is one of the tool which will provide you to test your MS apps. It will also provide you to run or deploy your application, so that all our clients will be used. Now, coming back, this has the feasibility to scale up. When I talk about the scale up, yes, we'll be having the multiple nodes, and based on like the demand of that particular application. Let's take one example, like if you want to log into one of your application, and maybe like during some of the peak time, right? I see thousands of people are logging at the same time, right? And if you having like a monolithic architecture, you'll be having only one dedicated server where it has been built in, right? But in that case, there is a high chance it will get fatal. It will fail over. What will happen in that case if we have the MS app? So when MSFs comes into the picture, right, you can actually scale up by distributing on servers. When login is hitting multiple times, when login is on the demand, you can just scale the login functionality, login service, instead of like scaling rest of the services. So that's how this MS apps come to the picture. Now, since this is one of the feature with the loosely coupled, you can integrate with many other services like I can create only the login services in one services. Rest, whatever the landing or the default page which I'm seeing it, right? All the backend will come to the other services, right? I cannot simply mix login and then a default screen, whatever I'm seeing it, club into the same services. If you're doing it, then it's not a concept of the MS apps, right? Microservices apps. So instead, like doing that way, we can clearly define, like we can straight away split one service in one form, another in the another form. And then now coming to the testing for this particular login screen and what is the default screen which we are seeing it, right? The backend of it, you can simply go and hit what are the APIs which is relevant to the login, whatever the backend which is relevant to your or the default screen. Now, MS apps, if you are using the service fabric, it also provides you the stateless and the stateful. Now, it's very like I think most of the application is using the stateful and some part of the stateless, right? If you take about the e-commerce example, what are the items which you're seeing on your default page or on your screen? Like let's say like the list of the mobile phones, right? Those are the stateless because they don't need to keep any of the session variables to that, right? But when it comes to the cart where you're actually paying you add it to the card and then you're ready to pay for it, there it triggers the stateful, right? So what you can do it, you can split stateless versus stateful, and that will be like efficiently provided by the service fabric cluster. So using that, you can actually differentiate what is the stateless, what is the stateful services, and based on that you can design. Now coming back to the deployment for it, right? So what you can do it, deployment is again, you can do it for the testing purpose, you can deploy locally as well as you can deploy using the Azure portal, right? So both has the functionality. So obviously for the development purpose, you can deploy it locally. And once all your testing, all your understanding is correct towards that MS apps, you can go ahead and deploy on the Azure portal as well. Again, there will be having the list of nodes. So right now by default, the MS app supports the node 1 where only one scalability is allowed. But if you go for the node 5, you can scale up to the 5. However, if we pay more to the portal or the Microsoft, they will allow you for the more number of scales for that. Yeah. So coming to the testing, you have a list of APIs, right? You have all the unit test or API test is written. Now, how can you trigger through the service fabric cluster? What you can do it, you can create one any other application, either the Visual Studio through the C Sharp or Java through the Eclipse or whatever feasible to you. What you can do it, you can create one internal API, you can create one API, and you can hit all your unit test or API test which is written for that particular services. You can deploy the same test to the either the local cluster or the Azure cluster, and whenever you want, whenever you see okay my deployment is ready, you can just trigger your smoke test. As part of the smoke test, you can trigger it. So you can say it's like a single click running test, right? So all this functionality is given by the microservices app. And as you know, there will be many more advantages which we have if we are using MS app cluster. However, some disadvantages will also will be there. So first I'll talk about what are the advantages which we have. So it's like very highly scalability. This feature is given by the MS apps. This feature is given by the Azure Service Cluster, right? Also, it is very reliable in the sense like if one of the node is down, it will automatically create another node for you. So there will be no downtime time, and we can say it's always on, right? Now, if you want to deploy, you can deploy from anywhere. Now, what is the mean of anywhere in the sense like you don't have to rely on like, okay, I want to deploy only from the Jenkins, right? You can deploy directly from the so the service fabric cluster extensions also. So that are the very good functionality they are giving as part of service fabric, right? Now, what are the disadvantages which we have? That will also will be there as part of this, right? So the main is like if we are clubbing one service at a time, let's say like one service is down, right? What we need to do is like you need to focus only that particular service. So in that case, what will happen? Your entire application may not work for that period of time. But as soon as you deploy that particular services which you found is has a buggy, your entire application will be like restored and it will be working as expected. So what we are going to see in coming time is like how we are going to deploy, how we are going to deploy in the locally, how we are going to deploy on cluster on Azure. Before that, we'll be seeing like how we are going to install this service fabric cluster in local as well as Azure portal. Then we'll create one of the small MS app application along with your testing application. We'll write couple of one or two APIs to trigger all those APIs, I mean the backend APIs, and then we'll deploy locally as well as there. Now, in case of like fail rollover, we'll also see how it will be helpful when one of the node is down, right? So how it is going to trigger or pick another node at the same time so that our downtime will be like will not be having any downtime, right? So all these couple of steps will be in the short we'll see in the demo, and I hope like people will be liking it and they will implement the same in their organization and bring the always on or maybe like no downtime dependency during the production. So yeah, that's it about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pawan. I think you have summarized things very comprehensively. And microservices is the new thing which is there emerging in the market, and people are moving slowly from the monolithic architecture to the microservices architecture. So I think
Yeah.
there is a lot of insights and lot of learnings which people would take away from your session, and they will really look forward for your session. So Pawan, I wanted to ask that you come with a lot of industry experience across various domains. So it's like, what is your passion and what keeps you going on a day-to-day basis? If you can say something on that.
Yeah, so basically, I don't just strict on whatever is current going on with my industry, right? My organization, whatever they're saying, of course, we have to deliver it on the time. We need to complete that. But apart from that, whenever we get some free time or some extra leisure time, I just try to what do you call explore inside the industry market what is happening right now. So there's a lot of forums available. So one of the forum is this which ATA as well, which will give you insight what exactly is happening in the market. So what I'll suggest or I'll prefer is like I'll be part of the many of the forum like this. I'll try to explore what is happening there. I'll try to communicate with the people who have like more industry knowledge and get some information from that. I'll try to implement the same. For the very first time, there is a high chances you will fail it. But if you keep trying it, keep learning it, there's a chances you may get succeeded as well, right? So that's the thing. I just try to learn, even though it's fail, doesn't matter for me. I'll fail for one time, two time, three time, maybe five time, but six times, definitely I'll be succeeded for that. So I'll keep trying for it.
That's very much insightful, Pawan. Keeping trying and learning new things and sharing with the community is very much important. So, Pawan, I would like to ask one more question to you. It's like before we close it. So, there are a lot of new technology trends which are emerging uh, in the industry, right? So, how do you see the current technology trend evolving, and what what should today's tester focus on? What are your views or your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So being as a tester, like you'll not be having much scope, right? So definitely you need to bring something from which organization can, and if organization can win, of course you will be getting benefited, right? And how can you do that? So in that case, what you need to do, you need to keep learning, first thing. Second thing, you need to understand where this technology going for. Like if I keep doing the UI automation and other thing I'll be keep for minimal, I'll be heading in the maybe wrong direction, right? So yeah, being the UI automation is always a truthful, but apart from that, since the industry is moving toward the API microservices, or maybe that for the deployment, right, DevOps or Sec DevOps, right? So all these fundamental you need to learn. Maybe you need some training session, you need some tutorial, some learning videos and all that, you need to follow it. And using that in one day, you'll be coming to know, okay, I need to learn this to keep me updated in the industry trends. And if we are doing it, you'll be happy for the day. Okay, I have learned something for today. If you don't have any such goals like, okay, I haven't learned anything for today, then you'll be missing something, right? But if you have learned something for today or maybe the present day, you'll be having motivated. Okay, I have done this today. Tomorrow I can do something more, right? So you have to keep a goal. You have to make a goal such that your curve should be always increasing towards the learning. So in that way, you can focus what exactly you are doing it, and you can do it.
Thank you so much, Pawan, for sharing your thoughts that how testers can keep pace with the new things. So keep learning new things and take your curve
Yeah.
ahead is very much important. So we would like to thank you, Pawan, for the wonderful insights about this session and sharing a lot of things. So we would like to welcome you once again at this year's conference, and we are really looking forward for your session, Pawan.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.